Welcome back to Baltimore's #1 alcohol review show, BodyMore Bottles, with your host, Fonzarelli, aka Abraham Drinking. And today what we're going to do is we're going to have 3 offerings from the same distillery. Going to give y'all a little bit of education and a little bit of drinking. So, without further ado, y'all know the motto. We don't come here to lollygag. Let's get straight into this body bag. So what we're going to do here is we're going to review 3 whiskeys offered up by Maryland's own Sagamore Spirits. Sagamore does is they distill raw whiskey. What they usually do is they source their whiskey. When you source whiskey, you're basically getting it from somebody else that makes the whiskey. You get it, and then you do what you want with it. Some people like to finish it in different type of barrels. What Sagamore does is some people like to blend it. Like they get different barrels from a source, and then they blend them together. Some people like Sagamore, what they do is they take their whiskey and they cut it with some water and proof it down. So what they do is they get their whiskey from MGP. MGP is a company in, I believe, Indiana that makes whiskey and they source it out to people. So MGP is like the plug, and Sagamore is kind of like the middleman. So they get their whiskey from MGP, they bring it here, and to make it Maryland rye whiskey, they use water from their farm here in Maryland, limestone water, and they cut it down. They proof it down, and that's what makes it Maryland rye whiskey. So it's kind of a little flim flam there. They kind of doing a little bit of okie dokie stuff there. So first up, we got the Sagamore Distillery exclusive Night Mead Cask Aged Rye. Can y'all see that there? Is that in focus? Alright, so this is 46.5% alcohol by volume, 93 proof. Aged 4 years in charred new oak barrels, aged 13 months in night mead barrels. Made using barrels from Orchard, Cellar, Meadery, and Winery. On the back it reads, our 4-year-old straight rye whiskey aged for an additional 13 months in barrels from Orchard, Cellar, Meadery, and Winery's Night Mead, a honey lemon wine from a 200-year-old recipe from Roman Capuchin monks. These barrels add notes of ginger root, cinnamon, and vanilla with lingering heat. Maryland's Orchard Cellar specializes in mead and wines with flavors that shine from care and patience. Just the way we like to do things too. All right, flavor notes should include honey, cinnamon, vanilla, hazelnut, spice, and ginger heat. Y'all know what we do here, man. We don't come here to lollygag. So we about to get straight into this body bag. I had this when I visited the Sagamore Distillery. It was the best one. Not the best one, but it was a good one. I liked it, so we're going to go ahead and... So I got it, and we're going to go ahead and test it out here. So you can see there, it's a little dark in color. It's been in barrel for 4 years, then another barrel for an additional 13 months. Very strong on the nose. A lot of the alcohol, that ethanol coming through. Not too much. It's just very flavorful on the aromas. Some honey, some cinnamon, a little bit of vanilla. That's about it. Let's go on for the taste test. Cheers. Very spicy. Some honey on the back end. Like, it's more so spicy than that alcohol heat. You can tell because the chest warmth is not really there. It's just that spice up front. Then you get some honey, like, to calm it down on the back end. Let's go on for another taste. Again, overwhelming spice up the front, honey on the back. It's a good taste, a little bit of vanilla, but some ginger maybe. Like, yeah, I think that's what it said. Some ginger. I'm getting a little bit of that too. It's good, but it's not like I need to get me another bottle of it. I'm going to give that a solid 3.1 on the BodyMore bottle scale. Let's get a palate cleansed in on the number 2. Up next, we got Sagamore Spirits 8-year-old rye. Up next. As you can see, I tapped into that bottle a little bit. One of the main reasons why I'm doing this episode, because I need to body these bottles to get them out of here so I can get some more in. But this is the oldest age statement on a Sagamore Spirit. Reserve series is 57.45% alcohol by volume, which makes that 114 proof. I don't know if y'all can see there, but like I said before, that they cut it with that water from here. Up there it says Sagamore Spirits is spring fed. I don't know if y'all can see that, but those words on each side of the spirit say spring fed, referring to the water that they use to cut down that MGP liquid. On the back it says, a very special whiskey, a long time in the making. This 8-year-old rye whiskey is a testament to the power of time. We took our straight rye whiskey and aged it in new charred American white oak barrels for 8 years, creating a complex spirit with notes of orange, spice, clove, and espresso on the nose. This whiskey imparts a truly lasting finish, leaving lingering flavors of dark chocolate, peppercorn, and hazelnut. Our Sagamore Spirit Reserve Series celebrates the legacy of Maryland distilling with an unyielding focus on excellence from start to finish. Alright, ain't nothing else to do but get ourselves a pour. Let's get ourselves a light pour here, because we got some more liquors to go through tonight. So you can see there the color. Can y'all see that? It's like a rusty brown color. On the nose, I get the spice, some bacon spices, some ethanol. I mean, it's 115%, so that ethanol is coming through. Some citrus. like orange peel. That's all I'm getting on those. What did it say? Some espresso, I think it said. Yeah, I'm not getting the clove or the espresso, but I'm getting the orange peel, getting the spice. Let's go on for the taste test. Cheers. Spicy up front. A little bit of heat. Not too much for it to be 100, basically 115. What's this say? 114.9%, 114.9 proof. Not getting that. It drinks way less, but it's a little bit of heat. Spice, some vanilla, some butterscotch. Solid whiskey. Buttery. I give that 3.4 on the BodyMore bottle scale. Good everyday drinker. Definitely buy another bottle of it, but it's better than the first one. That first one might have to get knocked down to a 3.0 or maybe even a 2.9, but that one is definitely an everyday drinker. It'd be great in mixed drinks, great standalone. What did I say? 3.4? That's what I'm going to go with. 3.4 on the BodyMore bottle scale. Now, education time. Around Prohibition time, a little bit before then even, over a third of America's rye whiskeys came from here in Maryland. So what Sagamore Spirits is trying to do is bring Maryland rye back to prominence. But, like I said, their distillery is here, but they've been sourcing their whiskey from Indiana, MGP, and just cutting it with Maryland water and calling it Maryland rye whiskey. But, like I said, the distillery is here, so they have been distilling whiskey. And they'll try to tell you, if you go on the tour, yeah, we distill, all our whiskey comes from here, but everybody knows that whiskey comes from MGP. And on the back it even says, distilled in Indiana. So, what they finally done is release their own distillate made here in Baltimore, Maryland. And the first one that they did was this Sagamore Spirits Rye Bottled in Bond. That means that bottled in bond means that it's been aged for at least 4 years and it's at least 100 proof. This one is 50% alcohol by volume, 100 proof. And on the back, it says distilled, aged in new charred oak barrels, distilled and bottled by Sagamore Spirits, Baltimore, Maryland. This is their first bottle they put out to the masses that's been distilled, barreled, and bottled here in Baltimore, Maryland, making this 100% Maryland rye whiskey. On the back it reads, Sagamore Spirit, bottled in bond straight rye whiskey, marks our commitment to the highest level of excellence and authenticity, furthering our mission to make Maryland distilled, aged, and bottled products. Enacted in 1897, the bottled in bond distinction is the marker of distilling quality and transparency. Featuring our first batch of whiskey distilled in Maryland, this 100 proof rye whiskey is a blend of 2 rye mash bills, a high rye and a low rye, showcasing our flavors, rye spice, from our grain, fruit and floral notes from our sour mash fermentation, and aged notes from toasty caramel. All right, now let's go over some of that a little bit. 2 rye mash bills. Sagamore, what they do is they have 2 different mash bills that they get. One's high rye, I think it's like 78% rye, 12% malted barley, and the other one is, I forgot the percentages, but it's mostly rye, some corn, and some malted barley. They take those 2, they make whiskey out of those, then they blend them together, and that's how they make their Sagamore spirit. Sour mash fermentation. What that is shout out to the guys at Black and Brown Podcast. They best described it in a way that I can understand, so I'm going to describe it to y'all in that way. It's like when you got that pan and you cook in it in the grease, you leave that grease in there, you cook something else in that grease. That's basically sour mash. So they put the mash in the pot, they cook it, and they make their liquor out of that. But instead of taking all that mash out that pot and cleaning it out, they leave a little bit in there and put the new mash in there on top of it. So that's why they call it sour mash, because it's still some of that mash from that last batch in there. So it says that it should have flavors of the rye spice from the grain, fruit and floral notes from the sour mash fermentation, and aged notes of toasted caramel. So, not much left for us to do. It's time for that taste test. Let's get ourselves a pour. You can see that same color, rusty brown. Let's get ourselves a nose. Ethanol up front, burning the nose. Some caramel coming through. And some oat. Let's go on for the taste test. Hold on, let's get ourselves a palate cleanse first. Real quick. Pro tip. You want to get a palate cleanse and water's not doing the trick for you? Crackers. Ritz crackers, saltine crackers. They both work. Eat one. Wash it down with some water. Palate cleanse. Back to the message I had. This Sagamore, bottled and bond, 4 years, 100 proof. Let's go on for the taste test. Pretty smooth for 100 proof. I'm getting fruit-covered caramel on the palate. Like caramel, you got the tub of the caramel, you dip the fruit in there, apples, strawberries, whatever. I'm just getting fruity caramel. A little bit of butterscotch. But mainly fruit and caramel on the palate. Yeah, that's what I'm going with. Fruit and caramel. A little bit of butterscotch. The spice is there too. Spice, fruit, caramel. But not too hot. smooth, oily mouthfeel. Like, it's not like it just coats the mouth very easily. Pause. Not too far off from the 8-year though. 3.5. Not nothing to run and go grab. If I see it and I'm out, maybe I grab another one just off the humble. It's local. I love to support local, but it's not nothing to rave about. Just a 40-degree day. Everyday sipper. Great in cocktails. But nothing that's going to go at the top of any list. There we have it. Another episode in the books. BodyMore bottles. Y'all know what I'm here to tell y'all. Be safe but stay dangerous. Drink responsibly. And most importantly of all, body them bottles. Peace.